Hello, everyone. It is I coming at you from not my home, or rather, an in betweener phase of figuring out life path and home and where one belongs. I figured that this is something that people question a lot throughout their 20s, figuring out what the right choice is, especially people who are choosing to take unconventional paths in life. People who don't want to be caught working a job that is routine, people who do not subscribe to um, staying in one place, people who move around a lot, nomads. Uh, Partially, I crave sort of a disciplined ability to be able to commit to something, and I feel like those who waver also ask a lot of questions. They're just naturally inquisitive people, and they like to weigh out a bunch of options, and it becomes really difficult for them to choose one thing to do because they fear that if they lock themselves in, i.e., lock in to one choice, then they're going to make a mistake of not trying out other options. Um, I'm very fortunate to have been able to try a lot of things in my life and also to be able to start over in a lot of areas. But that's also something that's been on my mind lately is how life is a constant, maybe not cycle, but it is a constant choice to start over in different areas of your life. Every time you meet a new person or try to form a new connection with somebody, that's a form of starting over. Or you change fields, you change positions, whatever. Um, I would really like for the next 2 months for myself because I still have a plan to move to a country in which I feel at home in, Norway, and I've been working really hard to try to facilitate the conditions to be able to do that. And whether that means 30-minute language studying sessions a day, I should be doing more than that. But I have trouble with sitting down and just focusing on one thing for a very long time, especially if that thing requires you to be constantly improving at it to be able to feel a sense of satisfaction. I was I don't want to say I was never the one to be, just screwing around with something creatively for fun. There's so many unfinished projects, unfinished stories that I started, concepts for photo shoots, concepts for even, I don't know, songs, because I have the desire to share things creatively with other people, but I also lack the fulfillment or whatever it's called to sort of just pursue and make it just for the hell of it, or to do something just for the hell of it. Oftentimes I'll see, and this is most definitely a video journal of a person who has a mood disorder, because I'll often see people just enjoying themselves rollerblading or doing anything, boxing. I've always said I wanted to do boxing, but I injured my hand, and that there goes that, cards out the table, pick up 52 and read aloud your fate on each of them. Not tarot cards, poker cards, because we love gambling in the state of Florida, which is where I am right now. Other things going on in the world. This is a confessional time. Hello, knock knock, priest. It is I. Please forgive me for my sins, because I have done terrible things in my life. I have engaged in habits that I shouldn't engage in, and bearing it all, okay, having a sense of responsibility and be able to say that to anyone, your camera, when it seems like all we do is talk and scream into a void these days and hope that somebody out there is listening, or maybe it's unimportant that somebody's listening to this right now. Maybe it is valuable to be able to vocalize this and say, even though you may not get the validation or support or feedback from other people, it may just be okay to sing in your house by yourself, or go surfing by yourself, or try to do something that may seem strange or embarrassing. And uh, I love to challenge myself, but I am afraid that I'm going to embarrass. But the question is do I pick the safe route, which is choose conventional options and don't test the confines of what a creative approach could be? Or should it be to act hella out of pocket and just risk of offending whomever, or destroying this concept of yourself that is imaginary inside your head for the sake of experimentation? No, the answer is let's do both. Let's challenge ourselves and embarrass ourselves at the same time. Nobody wants to be the crazy aunt at the party, all right? Nobody wants to be the person who leaves the room and people go, wow, that person is cuckoo. That person is hella bananas, and they need to do X, Y, and Z in order to ground themselves and further educate on certain topics so you don't come off like a dum-dum. Just 2 months ago, I had to look up what a 401k was. I had to think about how does one file their taxes. I don't know how to change oil in a car. Surprise, surprise. Nobody's ever told me to do that. I am scared that people are going to find out these things, that I lack education in certain areas, because it seems like there's this unspoken rule that people should know how to do things like, even I know how to fill, my car tires, but imagine you meet somebody who doesn't, or who doesn't understand the physics behind how cold weather affects air pressure. Having more empathy and understanding for yourself when you're stuck in these difficult places is a tenet of being able to support other people as well. And one of the problems that I have is when I'm going through a really soul-searching period in life, is to give myself away to others and really depend on attention and validation. It can be in whatever form: social media, sex. It could be in the form of getting complimented in person. It could be just, different ways to define yourself based on how the world is reacting to you. So again, I just wanted to make this update video as a way to say you have every right to practice your independence, whether you're an extroverted person, an introverted person, a little bit of both. You are allowed to have these searching periods of your life where you're not constantly able to get hugs from people, or winks in the hallway, or free coffees at Starbucks USA. Thank you. Cut that USA part out. It is just the corporate machine.